the arms to continue attacking the leg. So one more time, super golden position, right? You get your leg smashed. I hold my shin just above the knee. You can do it, especially if his head is down, right? You want to make sure you go like across their chin, under their neck, okay? And then catch your shin, and then I'm going to lift my wrist up like this off my knee and just pull up towards my chest. So if he's like sprawling on me the whole time, I'll be able to do this without like bending my leg too much, right? You don't want to be like moving your knee whilst under pressure. So it's a good way to support your knee, especially if you've got fucked up knees. Okay, and take it to the outside. Then you can start to look at grips where you can start to like elevate your partner and stop them from just running away and resetting, which is basically not ideal, right? If they sprawl on your leg, you pull it out and then they get away without any sort of punishment, then you kind of lost out there, right? You took a bit of their weight and then you didn't get anything for it. So one more time, he goes for an arm weave, hold your shin, make sure you go under his chin. So he's probably gonna have his chin like aiming at my head with the arm weave, and I'm framing against this arm, right? Don't want this arm to come over the top either, so you can start to run around and anchor your head here. So defending against the arm, holding the shin, bring your knee up tight to your chest, and then open your knee up to the outside of your partner's shoulder. Once you get here, make sure that you counter with something each time so that your partner's not just getting free sprawls on your shins. So now we're going to deal with our partner who, they get this arm weave, okay? We look to pull our knee to the outside, but they're just staying with the arm weave, right? So they just insist on the arm weave. Even though I got my knee to the outside, so you can pressure him right, and he's not able to get the tight waist, I can basically accept this position. I still don't want to let him get my head, so I still want to be hand fighting with this hand. If I see him doing anything with the hand, like controlling my heel here, for example, I want to address that. But otherwise, if they're staying in this position, right, very good option is just to catch their head with a collar tie with the same side arm. Bring your elbow to the inside of your knee, so take some pressure off your thigh on the outside here, right? It can be kind of tiring. If you pull your knee to the outside and keep it open here, if he's pressuring in, you're kind of getting tired here. It's better to have your elbow on the inside and getting a collar tie on his head. So the more he pushes your knee down, the more you push sideways, the more you push his head down to the floor, okay? From here, I'm just going to sit up and lean on my partner's head. At any point, right, your partner can just take the arm weave out and try and get rid of the collar tie. So again, if they start to do stuff like that, I need to be able to follow up with attacks of my own, okay, just to punish them for backing away and making space. If they just insist on hanging on it though, first thing I'll do is just pull down on their head, like lift your head up a bit, posture up. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just hang on their head and make them tired, see if they're going to back out. If they insist on keeping the grip, then I'm going to start using my left leg to kick my right leg free. Like often, when people get this arm weave grip, they don't want your right leg to come out too easily, so they sit heavy on the leg, and you've got to use your left toes on the thigh to free your bottom leg. Okay, so it's not going to be easy. I can't just pull my leg out, right, because he's sitting on it and my ankle's hooked. Make sure your toes go on the thigh. You start to scoot away and build height. So ideally, as soon as my right leg is free, I'm able to do a technical stand up and pull my partner's head to the floor. And if he still holds on to this grip the entire time, then you're going to have a pretty easy time of like snapping your partner's hands to the floor, because they're essentially like pulling themselves in. A lot of the time people are going to let go and frame on you as well. So we'll look at both options. So first I free my right leg. He's still holding on, right? As I technical stand up, okay, I keep my toe on his thigh right to the last second, and then I pull my partner's head down and bring my knees together and bring my body weight over my partner's head. I'm going to switch my leg, so my right leg comes out wide. Okay, so if he's still holding on at this point to my far leg, this one here, yeah, exactly, yeah, it's going to be very easy for you to free that grip, right? From this position, he's still got a chance on a single, right? So you need to be aware that your partner might try to single leg you, in which case we're looking at stuff in the head, stepping over the head, and then you can look to try and tip your partner over. Okay, lots of options from the single leg, basically. That's the next CBG. All right, so one more time. We're going to be here. My partner manages to smash me down. Okay, often they're controlling this wrist as well. So just being aware, do things in a proper order, right? So freeing your wrist, if you can afford to control their wrist and circle it, then do so. If not, and you feel like your partner's going to get the tight waist, if they do, then you're shoulder posting and just circling the elbow free. Put more weight in it. Sometimes it's hard to circle your elbow free from this position. You've got to sit up, and then it's easy to circle your elbow free. You can hold their wrist, but a better option in this case is going to be to pull the knee to the outside. Okay. Then I bring my elbow inside my partner's knee and get the collar tie. So from here I can basically just keep this as a framing grip, right? If my partner tries to grab my head, I can just block that, but essentially I want to start to build height, okay? So that right hand, you can almost count it as being on the floor. So if I start to get to a stood up position, he's basically going to be in a position on his knees with his hands on the floor. It's not very good for wrestling from. So as I free my bottom foot, I'm just going to kick with my left leg on his thigh and extract my right leg and post my hand on the floor. As soon as I wiggle this right leg free, you should be ready for your partner to either take his hands out and back away, okay, yeah, exactly, drive into you more, in which case we're going for our snap, okay, or if they take their hands out and just frame on you, so like this, yeah, exactly, like they just head down and push it away, yeah, this sort of thing, in which case we're going to snap, hands to the floor, let's say posting on my shoulder again, yeah, like this, move away and then slap the hands to the floor, and then we're looking at chin straps and that sort of stuff again. Alright guys, so I'm going to be playing seated guard here, like supine on my side here, and my partner's going to grab a grip around my thigh. He's trying to basically staple my shin in here, so if he can get free of my right leg here, let's say using his hand, he gets free and starts to circle around to this side. As I go to react, he can then swing me all the way to the opposite side, yes, and then start to take my back, right? So that's kind of the threat that you want to be aware of, that it's like a grip that's going to staple your shin to your butt really effectively if you let them get it in too tight. And it's good for taking you both directions. So my partner's going to get this grip, okay, maybe he went for an arm weave, okay, I take my knee out and he cups my thigh instead. This is a pretty common scenario, right? So I'm going to keep my shoulder frame, I'm going to switch from the cross shoulder post, so you should just be aware you don't need the cross shoulder post, right? You can just keep your elbow in line with your hip and shoulder. But if your partner does start to pressure you or try and like start to lift his knees off the floor, then I'm going to be straight in with the shoulder post, okay, because I don't want him to control my head from this position or get any sort of underhooks or reverse underhooks here, this sort of thing. Okay, it can be a bit of a nightmare to deal with. So just being aware that as long as you keep your elbow there, you'll be fine to work out scenarios, but it's better if you're ready on the shoulder post to stop your partner like advancing and then you have to work to get out of position. So right here, I'm going to go on the inside of my elbow and catch my partner's tricep, okay, and then cover my hands over each other. So 1, 2, okay, and then from here, I want to shoot my left leg rather than kicking it straight up to the ceiling. Try and just slide your knee towards the end of your partner's wrist and keep your foot like hooking. You see, like ideally you can get this sort of hook, but basically what we're trying to do is just two-handed pull my partner's elbow past my body, okay, and then we're going to land in this sort of position, right? Once I start to reach my, like, your partner has a choice, right? He can stay here and try and get his elbow back through the gap in a kneeling position, or he can decide to just straight away pull guard and exactly get his knee to the outside, and then it's